Hello everyone, a warm welcome to you from SGT University. Today we are here to discuss about the low backache, and for that we have an expert from the orthopedics department, Dr. Sudhir Kapoor. Welcome sir. Backache is the most common cause of surgery in this area, and this low backache is very common in adults as well as in the old age group people. The backache has many causes, so I'll appreciate if sir tells us what actually is this low backache and why this is so common.
Technically speaking, low backache means the area of the back which is between the rib cage and the gluteal folds. That is technically low back. This problem has become very, very common nowadays. Actually, if I tell you some important data, 9 out of 10 people in their lifetime will experience sometimes low backache in their life. Basically, 90% people would have backache at least once in their lifetime. And if you you analyze the visitors to a general practitioner, we realize that every fifth patient is of backache. And out of these patients, 50% will have a recurrence also. So common is the problem. If we want to analyze what are the common causes, why the backache has become so common, I think two large causes are that our lifestyle has changed. People have become sedentary, the lack of exercise, they are working on computers. And few professions are prone to get this low backache. If I give you an example, besides a computer operator, let us say a driver, or a person who is working in a very small place, very close space. Let us take a common example like a panwala or like a goldsmith. These people are prone to get backache. And recently I found a very interesting trend. My colleagues also have the same experience. The backache has become very common in young people because of their visits to the gym. They're very enthusiastic to go to the gym, want to have a good physique, but proper technique is missing. They are not advised properly when to start lifting heavy weights and what is the technique to lift that weights. So I found many people who are coming with backache and younger people who have started going to gym recently.
Sir, just now you have mentioned that sedentary lifestyle is the most common cause of this low backache. So would you like to elaborate this cause more?
I think that needs celebration. This is a very good question. You would realize that most of the people who are working in offices, they leave early in the morning, enter their AC office, spend 8, 10, 12 hours there and then come back. So now the people are working from home, but this has been the usual style. There is no time for actual exercises, no time to spend on their own well-being. They are sitting in front of a computer and most of them are not sitting in a proper posture. Lack of exercises, having fast food which leads to obesity is another, I think, big cause. Then tobacco and alcohol. I think they contribute somehow to a large extent of people who are getting backache. Exact pathogenesis or exact reason, how does alcohol or tobacco lead to backache is not known. But it is thought that both of these disturb with your normal sleep. And as you know, the body rejuvenates during sleep. Either the quality of sleep is not good or the duration of sleep is not good. So the body doesn't really get the real rest which is required. That is why the things have become, one thing is left to the other thing. And the things have become very, very, disturbing nowadays. Every other patient I am seeing is of backache.
Sir, is every low backache is dangerous and do we require MRI in every low backache patients?
I think that is another good question because many people have many misconceptions about this thing. Let me tell you one thing. Most of the people who are suffering from backache do not have got a serious disease. It is mostly either what we call musculoskeletal problem or let us say degenerative disc disease which occurs in middle age or after that. These are not very really organic causes in the sense that you can't pick up many findings or you need not worry about them. Other causes are important, but I think the previous two causes which I told you, they will form almost 80% of backache. These are not really serious causes and they can be corrected if proper means are taken. Even medicines are required to a very small extent. Another wrong conception among the general public as well as some of general practitioners of medicine that every other patient they advise MRI. That is, I think, absolutely not required. Economically it is bad and it doesn't serve any purpose. Even X-ray is not required in every case. Only people who have got certain the so-called red flags. By red flags we mean certain dangerous signs which we found in patient's inquiry or examination. Let me give you an example. Supposing if a patient had a history of malignancy or cancer in the past, let us say a lady who had a carcinoma of the breast operated comes to me with backache. In that case, I will definitely go in for an X-ray and an MRI. Not in a lady who's around 40 comes to me, sir, I'm having backache for about a week or so. I will not never ever advise a MRI. X-ray is the basic minimum. It is economical. Any backache which persists more than 3 weeks, one may go for an X-ray. But MRI, definitely not. It will not serve any purpose. Economically, it is bad to the patients. And we do not get, as an orthopedic surgeon, I do not get much information. The information which I gather from talking to the patient or examining the patient is mostly sufficient for me in these cases to manage it properly. I don't think MRI will be required in most of the cases.
So, what all precautions one should take in their day-to-day lifestyle to prevent this low backache?
Let me tell the audience first. Let us not be scared or let us not be afraid, let us not be concerned unduly with an episode of backache. If you analyze and if you talk to your doctor, if both of you discuss, then in 80% cases the things will be very minor one. There are few precautions which each and every person, even a lady who is working in the house or a professional should follow, which would prevent backache. There are few things in common. There's a long list, but I'll like to stress upon only important things. Let us take a person who is working on a computer. Now there is a certain way of working on the computer. A person working on the computer should arrange his chair and table height in a manner that his eyesight is just at the superior border of the screen. So in that way, you will not have to bend forward or flex the neck or the back to work on the computer. Second thing, once he's sitting on the computer chair, his back should be adequately supported. The knees should be bent about 90 degree or 100 degree or so. If need be, the patient may get a person may get a footrest also. Then I had mentioned to you earlier that a lot of young people who go to gym are getting their backache.
Yes.
I'll advise them strongly. Please go to a standard gym and a trainer who really knows his profession. You should go to them. Initial loosening exercises to loosen the body, stretching, do some aerobics to strengthen your body and to increase the endurance. Particular muscles should be strengthened. I'm talking of lifting the weight. Back muscles and abdominal muscles must be strengthened with isometric exercises before they really attempt the weight lifting. Then the lifting of weights has got a proper manner. Once they are lifting a weight, when bending the back forward is absolutely no. The knees are bent and the hips are bent. Back should be as straight as possible. If required, the person may wear a supportive belt also at that time of lifting the weight. These things are important. Another thing which I have found, and I think we should teach our audience from the very beginning of let us say from school going age also. Our children, our younger people have developed a very wrong posture, and that is basically because of working on long hours on mobile.
Exactly.
Pardon me for saying this thing. I think this has become a nuisance. It become really nuisance. The children, our young people are spending so much time on mobile with their neck bending. They tend to develop a very wrong posture. If you are a little observant, you will notice that a person who is using his mobile regularly, they tend to have their neck forward, little forward. The shoulders are drooping. Over a period of time, this drooping of the shoulders, this neck going forward, that puts a tremendous strain not only in the back but the whole trunk muscles. Actually, there is a term which has been recently described in the literature, which is called upper cross syndrome. It is a typical disease of the people who are working with who are mobile addicts. Well, these people have to be taught properly the importance of real posture. A very simple method to know whether you are holding a correct posture or not. I'll advise everybody to stand with their back and back touching a wall. Once you're standing straight with the arm with the upper extremities facing forwards and standing straight, the portion of the body which is touching the wall should be the back of the head, maybe the buttocks. It should not be the back of the neck is away from the wall, and the shoulders are away. Just the shoulders, the back, and the bulge of the buttocks should be just in contact with the wall. That will tell you that it is a correct posture. And if you observe from the side, let us say a plumb line or a line drawn from the center of the skull should pass through the hips and through the feet. Not that the center of the line drawn is passing in front of you. That will be very, very bad. So I think posture correction at a very young age. And please, for God's sake, if this program is going to be any help to anybody, please leave this habit of mobile for long hours. This is going to create a havoc in due times to come. We are expecting a storm of people who are going to report to us with upper cross syndrome, besides backache.
Sir, does every severe or chronic backache require surgery?
I think, Priyanka, you have asked a very pertinent question which will help a lot many people who are watching this program. Let us be very sure that most of the backache are benign, they are correctable, and if you get to discuss with your doctor, he may tell you some simple life-changing postures, exercises, way of working which will correct it. Every backache does not require surgery even if it becomes chronic. There are certain very definite indications. I would say in my practice, let us say I operate 1 out of 50 patients who ultimately leads to surgery. 49 patients are corrected otherwise. There are few telltale dangerous signs which I think even our very common people should be aware of. If those common dangerous signs are there, then one has to be careful. Let me give you an example. A person who's getting backache suddenly starts complaining that there is some weakness in the legs, or a very severe pinpoint tenderness or the pain on pressing has developed in the spine. Or we started feeling less in a particular area of the extremity. If these signs are there, then we definitely need to investigate, and these patients may land up in surgery. But otherwise, as far as I am concerned, as an orthopedic surgeon, let me assure you as well as the audience that most of the cases of backache would not require surgery. It will require very simple medicines, some change in lifestyle, few exercises to build up your abdominal and back muscles, and to change in general your way of working. That is all I can say.
Sir, just now you have said that simple medications and exercises are required to treat this low backache. So would you like to elaborate this more?
I think that I should answer adequately so that everybody is very sure that things are not serious. One thing I've told you already, that once you discuss with your doctor, then few lifestyle changes may be required. And people who are working in computers or on similar situations where the backache may be precipitated, they require to get some modifications done in their working method. Then we have got very simple medicines. We call them anti-inflammatory drugs. These are quite safe medicines, and mostly 1 or 2 drugs are required. 1 or 2 medicines are required. These are very common. I mean, many of the people in the audience would be knowing what is Brufen. It's not exactly Brufen, but a similar class. So simple medicines, only 1 or 2 medicines are required. They may need to visit a physiotherapist, because physiotherapists will teach them few exercises which are supposed to build up the spine and the back muscles. At the same time, there are few modalities in physical therapy which help in a patient of backaches. To name a few, let us say shortwave diathermy, ultrasonic, TENS. These are few things. There are few machines actually. They have got certain waves which are given to the injured or the inflamed part, and they are quite effective in relieving the pain in that part. That is basically to get over a period of acute problem. Once the acute problem is over, then the patient has to sustain and to build up his muscles with the help of the exercises which will be taught to them by the physiotherapist. So let us understand, if I just enumerate lifestyle changes, changes in the modification in the profession, then maybe one or two simple medicines, then few physical modalities like diathermy, ultrasonics, which will take care of acute problem. Then strengthening their back and abdominal muscles so that the problem doesn't come back again. And few stretching exercises which will stretch particularly the joints of the spine, joints of the hip. I think in this regard there are few asanas, yogasana, which are excellent, which are very, very good. I think we must, our audience, they must learn these things and they should become a part of your daily routine. To name a few, let us say Tadasana, let us say Sarpasana, let us say Dhanurasana. These are few asanas which mobilize the spine completely. In about 10 minutes time, you have actually massaged the complete spine from cervical spine to the last vertebra adequately. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes. So these types of stretching exercises, some asanas, some specifically strengthening exercises to build up the abdominal and the back muscles. I think that should take care of the most of the things. If required, one additional thing which can be done by everybody once you get a backache, hot fermentation. Once the backache has become after few hours duration, hot fermentation with a hot water bottle and some counter-irritant cream. Many are available. I'll not name anything because that will not look appropriate for a doctor to name any particular brand. But hot fermentation followed by some counter-irritant cream will give relief in most of the cases.
So today we have Dr. Sudhir Kapoor with us, and sir has cleared our all myths and doubts regarding this low backache. And the most important one is that every low backache patient doesn't require any MRI, and simple lifestyle modification and active lifestyle can help to reduce this problem of low backache. So again, I would like to thank sir for sharing your valuable time with us and clearing our all doubts and myths regarding this low backache. Thank you.